Military service as a vocation, not a job. A job ends at closing time, but a vocation has no closing time. It demands your whole life. Nigeria needs soldiers who answer a calling, not just those seeking a paycheck. When the nation is in danger, money cannot defend it. Only courageous men and women who see service as a vocation can. In Nigeria, work is often viewed through the lens of survival and income. However, some roles in society transcend economic necessity and enter the realm of moral duty and sacred responsibility. Military service is one such role. It is not merely a job to be performed for wages, but a vocation, a calling that demands devotion, sacrifice, and obedience to a higher purpose, the preservation of the nation. For young Nigerians, understanding military service in this light is essential for building a disciplined, ethical, and patriotic armed forces capable of securing Nigeria's unity and future. These are 7 reasons why young Nigerians should see military service as a vocation. 1. Military service is a divine and moral calling. Across Nigeria's religious traditions, the idea of a calling is deeply rooted. Christianity teaches that, I quote, "Greater love has no one than this, that a man lays down his life for his friends." John 15:13. Islam honors those who stand in defense of the community by teaching that, I quote, "Whoever saves one life, it is as if he has saved mankind entirely." Quran 5:32. In African tradition, the warrior is honored not for the wealth he acquires, but for the lives he protects, the land he preserves, and the courage with which he stands between his people and danger. His worth is measured by sacrifice and honor, not reward. These beliefs converge on one truth: defending others is a sacred duty. Military service aligns with this moral framework. The soldier answers a call to stand between citizens and danger. Such a role can therefore not be reduced to a contract or employment. It is a vocation that appeals to conscience, faith, and the inner conviction that one's life has more meaning than personal comfort. 2. Loyalty to nation above self-interest. A job primarily serves the individual, while a vocation serves a cause. The Nigerian soldier swears allegiance not to personal gain, but to the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and this oath binds the individual to the nation's survival, unity, and sovereignty. This reflects the principle of the common good, the belief that personal sacrifice is sometimes required for societal survival. In a country as diverse as Nigeria, where ethnic, religious, and regional interests often compete, the armed forces stand as a symbol of national unity. Only those who see military service as a calling can genuinely rise above sectional loyalties and defend Nigeria as one indivisible nation. 3. Sacrifice is the highest expression of patriotism. Every vocation demands sacrifice, but military service demands the highest form of sacrifice. Soldiers surrender personal safety, comfort, and sometimes life itself so that others may live in peace. In Nigerian culture, sacrifice is honored as a proof of courage, maturity, and love for the society. A job avoids sacrifice when risk becomes too high, whereas a vocation embraces sacrifice as meaningful and necessary. Young Nigerians who join the military with this understanding are mentally prepared for hardship and morally grounded in the belief that their suffering is not in vain but serves a noble national purpose. 4. Discipline is a moral virtue, not just a rule. Military discipline is often misunderstood as merely obedience to orders. Let me say that again. Military discipline is often misunderstood as mere obedience to orders. In truth, it is a moral virtue, self-control in the face of fear, restraint in the use of force, and loyalty despite the odds. Philosophy teaches that true freedom comes from self-mastery, not the absence of rules. When military service is seen as a vocation, discipline becomes internal, not forced. The soldier obeys not out of fear of punishment, but out of commitment to duty and honor. This form of discipline strengthens the armed forces and produces individuals who act responsibly even when no one is watching. 5. Protection of life is a sacred trust. Ironically, although soldiers carry weapons, their ultimate mission is the preservation of life of citizens. Religious teachings in Nigeria emphasize stewardship, the idea that life is sacred and must be protected. The Nigerian soldier carries arms, not for oppression, but to shield civilians from violence, terror, and lawlessness. Seeing military service as a vocation reinforces this sacred trust. The military as a vocation teaches the soldier that power must be exercised with restraint, justice, and compassion. This mindset is essential for maintaining professionalism, respecting human rights, and earning the trust of the Nigerian people. 6. Continuity of honor and national legacy. The Nigerian military is built on the sacrifices of those who served before, some who rose to high rank, some who retired quietly, and some who never returned home. To serve is to inherit this legacy. A job ends with retirement. A vocation continues through honor, memory, and national history. Young Nigerians must see military service as a calling. They must understand that soldiers are custodians of a legacy that must be protected, not exploited for personal advantage. 7. Endurance in the face of national challenges. Nigeria faces complex security threats that test endurance, patience, and moral strength. Those who view military service as a job may become discouraged when conditions are harsh and rewards delayed. Those who see it as a vocation draw strength from purpose, faith, and patriotism. Religious belief, philosophical conviction, and love of country give meaning to suffering and courage in uncertainty. These qualities are indispensable in the defense of a nation as dynamic and challenged as Nigeria. Let me conclude by stating that military service in Nigeria is not an ordinary occupation. It is a sacred trust, a moral responsibility, and a divine calling. Young Nigerians must be encouraged to approach it as a vocation rooted in faith, sacrifice, discipline, and love for country. Only by doing so can the armed forces remain strong, ethical, and united in purpose. To reduce military service to a money-making venture is a form of sacrilege, for it converts a sacred duty rooted in sacrifice, honor, and defense of human life to a commercial transaction. When soldiers serve not merely for pay, but for Nigeria itself, the nation stands secure, dignified, and hopeful for generations to come. Young Nigerians must therefore rise beyond job seeking and answer the higher call to defend the nation with honor, discipline, and sacrifice. After all, no amount of money can truly pay for military service. Let us raise a generation that sees the uniform not as employment, but as a sacred commitment to Nigeria's survival and unity. If you believe in a dignified and secure Nigeria, like, follow, and share this video.